All right, so in my previous video, we looked at how to create a search engine for the Giphy API. So a Giphy search engine where we're able to type in a word and it searches their API for movies that have that word in their title. So if you haven't watched that video and this all looks completely foreign to you, go ahead and check out that video. What we're going to do here is clean this up so it doesn't look like crap. And in addition to that, there's a couple things that were left hanging. And in addition to that, we're going to address a few things like this, and the fact that if we search for test once more, it's just appending content to what we have here. So it's just going to continuously add stuff. And so naturally we want it to like wipe out what's currently there and then show us only what we just searched for. So why don't we start with that last item first, meaning when we click search or submit, we just want the results from that latest search to appear on the page. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an element that's going to hold all of our videos, all of our posters. So why don't we just call this section ID that's posters. Instead of appending a particular image to the body, we're going to append it to the posters container. Now this in itself is not going to change the fact that content still is going to be added every time, right? So if we did like Simpsons, that's going to appear after the stuff with test, but it at least gives us a holder. So what we're going to do is use the empty method. So after the submit button is clicked, we're going to target the element with the ID of posters, and we're going to use jQuery's empty method to empty it out. So every time we click submit, it's going to wipe whatever's in it clean. So then whatever is added, it's all we see. All right. What's up with this thing here? Image NA. So let's go ahead and see these elements look like. So why don't we say, so some of these posters have NA. So why don't we say if poster does not equal NA, then append it. That's going to be trickier. we're not gonna be addressing that one. And by the way, I mean, just to explain that. So I said we're not going to address that one because this one, it looks like there is actually URL being returned. It just looks like the URL itself is invalid, which is different than if we're not, if we're just getting NA. So that's something that looks like kind of on the server end, or that the API side's giving us like a false image. So that's looking a bit better. Let's look at styling. So what if we told where's our section? Okay, we got it. What if we said section was going to be display flex, and their images. We want a max height of 100 pixels. And we want our items to be able to wrap. And we could also say, maybe flex 1, it's going to stretch, so that looks no bueno. And I'm going to do a different one in sentence because of this error here. Do sign for. Is use justify content space around. Perfect. And we could also give the images like a bit of margin. And it starts to look better. So let's go ahead and put that in the code. So we say posters, flex, justify content, space around, flex wrap. And for the images, we're going to say let's actually see what this comes up with. I guess I'm a Simpsons fan. I haven't watched that in a while. All right, so that's looking better. What about our JavaScript or jQuery? Can we clean this up a bit? We could do, why don't we do this? Let's create a function called display movies. And this is going to take an array of movies. And we do this a few ways. One way would just be to take this whole chunk and then call it from here. So we get this movies array back from the search, or from the API request. We kind of extract it from the search property, or actually, it is the search. It's the value of the search property rather. We'll pass that into the display movies function and let that do its thing. We could also abstract a function so it's not so bound to the structure of these movies. So for example, we could just say like, you know, display movie, and it would just append it to the posters. That way we're not bound to the actual structure of the return within this function, but I think this is good for now, just to at least break it up and have a feel for breaking it up and refactoring it. And so yeah, so just to clarify, so we added a new element, we cleaned up the styling a bit, used flex and some CSS, and then we cleaned up the jQuery or JavaScript code a little bit here to just refactored it very simply. We just created a new function and abstracted that away, but it is a little bit cleaner. So I hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to ask any questions below.